Community members and city leaders gathered tonight attempting to tackle the issue of a homeless encampment at a Northwest Side park.
Some residents say that the problems have been growing over the last couple of years. WGN's Brona Tumulty is joining us now from outside Gompers Park with the latest on this controversy. Brona?
Good evening, guys. Yeah, we heard a lot tonight about what is known as an accelerated moving event. It would help at least 20 to 30 people at one time and get them all of the services that are needed. What we didn't hear tonight is if that is going to happen for the folks who are currently living at Gompers Park. And if it is going to happen, the issue of when remains up in the air.
There's rampant drug use, there's drinking, there's garbage everywhere. We've had to have the fountains turned off. It's turning into something far bigger than we can handle.
Samantha Nugent of the 39th Ward is talking about the current encampment at Gompers Park, a problem residents say has been growing for the last 2 years.
Now there's more tents along Foster Avenue, which is where the baseball field is, and there's issues of them kind of heckling the kids while they're playing in the outfield, and that should not be allowed.
And they allege it's brought a litany of issues.
Now there is heavy drug use, there is a lot of partying going on, we're finding needles, it's hard to walk the dogs, people don't feel safe taking their children over there, so it's become a really big problem.
With crime, we're told, admittedly on the rise.
The calls for service around Gompers Park has seen an increase in volume by about 20%.
Earlier this month, the Restore Gompers Park Coalition, a group of neighbourhood residents who've been working in tandem with Nugent, submitted a petition with 450 signatures to the Mayor's office calling for a plan. Officials say what's needed is known as an accelerated moving event.
One of the ways that we connect residents experiencing homelessness here in Chicago is through accelerated moving events. These are 1 or 2 day events that quickly connect a group of 20 to 30 residents experiencing homelessness to the housing process at once.
But it doesn't sound like that's going to happen anytime soon, with no word of an AME date on the books. We did hear rundowns of what is being done to help those in the park, including provision of food and clothes, along with medical assistance for folks like Michael.
I've been in and out of here, this location, about 2 years.
The knee-jerk reaction to an encampment is, we'll just force them to move. But what people ask next is a really good question. Well, where will they go?
James Kowalski with 39th Ward Neighbours United says the camp needs to stay there for now.
There's estimates that say that breaking up homeless encampments, in addition to costing the city money to do that, it also increases the likelihood that people will die from conditions like drug overdose as it interrupts their connection to care.
Now, there was a question asked tonight about why the police can't go in and remove tents or remove an encampment. The park is supposed to shut at 11 o'clock, just like every other park in the city. And in response to that, the chief homelessness officer for the city, Cindy Soto, simply said something to the effect of Chicago is not in the business of arresting people for living without a house. We're live on the northwest side of Chicago. Brona Tumulty, WGN News.